So this is my Samsung phone, and if you take a closer look, it's actually not running Android at all. What you're seeing here is Windows 11 ARM Edition, running directly on my Samsung device. Now this isn't some fancy theme or custom launcher we're talking about here, a complete desktop Windows operating system. Check out this file manager. You can see all these files and folders in the C drive, and these are genuine Windows system files. Now this particular version is what we call a Debloated Windows build, meaning it ships with way fewer apps than what you'd normally get on a desktop setup. We're missing things like the Microsoft Store, Paint, the default image viewer, and a bunch of other stuff. But here's the thing, that doesn't mean you're stuck without these apps forever. Stick around, because I'm going to show you exactly what's possible. I'm going to walk you through some of the apps I've managed to get running on this setup, and we'll test how well it handles everyday tasks. We're talking web browsing, extracting files, pushing the hardware up to its limits, and I'll even fire up a Flutter development project right here on the phone. I've got a wireless Bluetooth mouse connected here to make navigation a bit easier. And as you can see, when I dive into the settings, everything works just like you'd expect. All the standard Windows features are there and functioning properly. Heck, you can even pull down Windows updates if you want to. The Wi-Fi connectivity is solid. I'm connected to my home network without any problem. Bluetooth pairing works great too, so you can connect whatever peripherals you need. Now I did install some heavier applications like Blender and DaVinci Resolve to see what would happen, but unfortunately they're not playing nice due to GPU driver limitations. The main issue right now is that OpenGL support just isn't there yet in this build. Interestingly enough, when I tested this same setup on my Poco phone, OpenGL was actually working, so your mileage may vary depending on your device. But let's focus on what actually works. I managed to get VS Code installed and even set up the complete Flutter SDK. And yes, you can install pretty much any Windows application on this setup, as long as it supports ARM architecture. More and more developers are starting to compile their software for ARM these days. It's still relatively new territory, but I'm betting that in the coming years we'll see ARM support become standard across most applications, similar to what we've seen happen with Mac software. Yes, code is taking long to load up here. That's not too surprising considering this phone is running on a Snapdragon 78, which is getting on 4 years old at this point. There we go. VS Code is finally up and running. Now, let me show you this project in action. This is a web application I built that lets you spell out names using actual locations from around the world, powered by the Google Maps API. Pretty cool to see a full web development project running inside a Windows environment on a phone, right? It's honestly pretty impressive that we can manage and execute a Flutter project on hardware like this, though you'll notice the images aren't loading properly again because of that WebGL support issue I mentioned earlier. Alright, so that wraps up today's experiment. Here's my honest take on this whole Windows on phone situation. Can you install Windows on your Android device? Absolutely. Will it handle basic computing tasks? Sure, to some extent. But let's be real here, there are some significant drawbacks. Battery life takes a massive hit, you lose all your cellular functionality, including calls and mobile data, and the system tends to crash more often than you'd like. That said, I've got nothing but respect for the developers who made this Windows port possible on older Samsung hardware. The amount of work required to create drivers that bridge Android's kernel with Windows is absolutely mind-boggling. If you're interested in trying this on your own device, I'll drop all the necessary resources in the description below. Fair warning though, device support is pretty limited, so make sure to check if your phone made the compatibility list before diving in. This could be a really fun weekend project if you're looking for something different from the usual custom ROM scene. That's it for this video. If you found this helpful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more hands-on tech content. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.